Mahlatini and the Mahotela Queens here on Morning Live playing local music. Local is lacquer. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Are you happy with 90% local music? Or would you like to see perhaps that percentage a little less? Well, that's what we're discussing today during our special SABC TNA broadcast that's taking place in Woodmead. Peter, let's go back to you.
Leanne, thank you very much indeed, and a very warm welcome back. We are in Woodmead today, as I said, the location for the latest in the series of New Age business briefings brought to you by the SABC. And today we're talking 90% local content, as Leanne was just speaking. And before the break, we heard from a few of our partners and sponsors. And one of the key partners, of course, is the SABC. And from the board, it's my great pleasure now to welcome Dr. Tshidzumba to say a few words. How are you, sir? Good.
Thanks, Peter. I represent the board under our chairman, Professor Magube. I chair the committee on content. As the SABC, we welcome all officials from the minister's offices here, the sponsors, our partners, all CEOs, board members who are here, the COOs of companies, executives, and all ladies and gentlemen who are here. Just to give you a brief on local content, as the board, we started discussing this way in 2013. I remember saying to the COO, my first meeting of the content, that where I come from in Venda is very rural village. I would like to see one day a person from my village on television. And he was laughing at me. And he said to me, that is going to happen, Chief, in 2013. So the COO, Mr. Cloud, is a man of his words. It took these years to happen this year. Thank God I was still a member of the board when it happens. When we arrived, we were on the red, as you know, we had a loan from Nedbank as the SABC. We were servicing that. From 2011, he started to do his magic, running around raising funds. And we just had him on the board saying, I'm going to launch News 24-hour channel. After that, he was launching Enco. And when I asked from the committee how much is to launch a channel, they were telling me about 500 million minimum, which means News 24 channel and Enco was almost $1 billion that one man has raised. And I said to him as the chairman of that committee, so how much do you want from us? And he said, I know, Chief, I'm doing my job. That is to show, and if though we have got people who know about figures here, if he claims 5% or 10% of that, that will be almost 100 million. And imagine if I give him 100 million as a commission or bonus, all newspapers during the weekend will be sold out. So that is to express how, I was reading City Press last weekend, and they said the copyright expert, Graham Gilfillan, was quoting how much we're taking outside the country as South Africans. It's almost 2.1 billion rands of copyrights that we're taking through our local content and the international content. How much is our local artists benefiting from that? So other people were asking a question, the SABC, do you have money for this 90%? And we said, yes, we have money for this 90%. The cake is still the same, you see. It was an issue of left and right. The left was getting 90%, which is international. The right was getting 10%, which is local. So we're just switching over, you see. 90 is coming to the local. So it's not. If people outside at UN conference are raising these issues, what about ourselves in the country who are not raising this? Then from that, in 2015, end of financial year, through the money raised by Mr. Mtsweni and his team, we were sitting on 1.4 billion cash in the bank. That is why today he's saying to all South Africans, here is the cake. Let's not take this cake outside the country. Let's share it local amongst ourselves and spend it as South Africans. Now, what does that mean? One, I was listening to one radio station during the week. They were saying that they were questioning the issue of timing now, that the SABC is campaigning for elections. Let me tell you one thing. For the SABC to cover the elections of South Africa, the local coming municipal elections, the SABC, Mr. Mtsweni, has raised 15 million rands to cover that. It's not the money that we're getting from government. He raised so that South Africans can watch or their elections are covered. So it's not a matter of that we're campaigning. We cannot campaign as the SABC to be in government because we're already in government. The SABC is owned by government. So we don't campaign. We service our government and our people as the SABC, as the public broadcaster. Now the issue of timing is that our financial year starts beginning of April. So this is where program schedules are being announced. So it's not an issue of elections. It's fortunately the government has announced elections in those times. So we're together in those days. So then after that he promised us extra 4 channels that are coming on television. As I said, each channel minimum is 500 million. So which means Mr. Mtsweni is going to rise or to get 2 billion for us as the SABC. For us to get 4 new channels. We have been promising government as the board, the sports channel, it will launch 8 channels. And when they showed us, the executive, the figures, we realized we don't have this money. Then he said to us, no, look, we'll get a channel by channel. When we raise money, we'll launch a channel. So he's promising us 4 new channels. Now you remember in this sequence of history, we have been having Mr. Mtsweni going to court. A lot of people were taking him to court. Last year, November, December, we suspended him as the board in order to discipline him. And in that era, we nearly lost the CAF soccer tournament. In these competitions, you go and bid. And these guys don't play. The language that they talk there is very harsh because they're running businesses. It's just like PSL and SAF. When you hear that PSL is with SuperSport or not us as the SABC, it's because the language being discussed there to negotiate. He knows it better. It was up, KEF wanted almost, the CFO is here. It's almost 300 million rands, but in dollars. I can't remember in dollars what. And we didn't have that money. When he came back in January, in 2 days, he managed to save us $2 million from that money. Now, this is one man running these programs and this fundraising for the SABC. So we said we're happy with South Africans that at least now we'll see 999 recording artists from America, from Britain. Yeah, just like them. We are recording with them here, all of them from the Western countries. So we want our own to grow. And I want to see one artist from my village. I see their producers here. So that everyone is covered. If you can cover my village, Mr. Mswani, I know everyone will be covered. So as the board, we're saying, let's celebrate and let's enjoy. All this is going with the IP. And all, you know, on the IP, where Vodacom was fighting with their own employee now. We don't want to fight with Mr. Mswani as the SABC on the IP of channels and local content and all of this. So we're saying, as South Africans, the board has approved from our committee and we submitted to the main board. They approved that this cake must be shared in South Africa only. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Tshidzumba. Thank you so much indeed. That was Dr. Tshidzumba from the SABC board speaking to us. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll start this conversation in earnest. So stay with us for that.